But D. Anderson and the Showboats have won it in overtime. Going to hand this off up the middle for Marable. He's going to fumble. Ball's loose. And St. Louis picks it up. That will do it. The Battlehawks defense makes a play late. Game on the line. Looking to throw. Has time. End zone. Incomplete. It's incomplete. The Stallions hang on to win. For overtime. DeLeo to throw. Pass. Caught by Roland. Needs some help. Not gonna get it. He's stopped a yard short. Houston will pull off the upset. Looking to throw. Has time. Deep. Right side. Overthrown. Picked off. It's intercepted by Keenan Isaac. He's gonna need it right there. If they hand this off right side for Roland, they convert the 10-5. Chris Roland. I should shut up. Chris Roland touchdown. That's the dagger. Knicks toss left side and there's room. Has past the 30, past the 40, past the 20, 15, 10, 5. RJ Harvey. There we go. One play. Just need one play out of you. Gonna play action and look to throw. Mariota, sometime. Pass, intercepted. It's picked off. Yes, yes. One play was all they needed. Jack Jones. Williams, play action. Rolling left, looking to throw. Has time. Pass, end zone, intercepted. It's Keyshawn Nixon calling game. Darnold to throw. Has time. Pass, wide open. Over the middle. The Seattle Seahawks do it. Play action looking to throw. Williams has some time. Pass deep. Over the middle. Has a man. It's DJ Moore. Touchdown Chicago. They win in overtime. Snap good. Hold good. Kick up. And he missed it. Wide right. The Steelers will host Houston on Monday night. Williams in shotgun. Back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left. 4th and 4. Trip to Seattle on the line. Man in motion. Williams looking to throw. Pressure coming. Rolling left. Trying to buy some time. Back near the 40. Pass left side. Williams is caught. Touchdown Chicago. Cole Kmet. Somehow the magic remains. What? May looking to throw in 3rd and 6. Rolling left. Gonna take it himself. And that will do it. A first down carry. It's a gain of 7. And the Patriots have booked their ticket to Santa Clara. Zeros on the clock. The Seattle Seahawks, for the first time since 2014, are your NFC champion. Hello, everybody, and welcome on in. We're wrapping up Week 10. We're wrapping up the UFL regular season tonight. It is the first meeting between the Louisville Kings and the Columbus Aviators. I'm kind of shocked it took until the final week of the season for these two teams to play each other. But that's how the scheduling went, and we'll see how this matchup goes. I'm excited. Jalen Morton looked really well last week for the Aviators in that win against Birmingham. It was come from behind win, but he looked really damn solid in it. Louisville have been on a hot streak. The winners of 5 of their last 6, and with the DC loss earlier today, they clinched a playoff spot, as well as the 3rd seed, so they will be playing, they clinched a playoff spot last week with the Birmingham loss, and also their win, but they clinched the 3rd seed with their win against, they clinched the 3rd seed with the DC loss earlier today, so we'll be playing St. Louis next week, is all that matters. But welcome on in. Kickoff is moments away, and what should be a good one. It should be a good one. It's a game that doesn't have anything at stake, as again, everything is already set in stone for the playoffs. But it should still be a fun one, because these two teams have been playing some pretty fun football over the past few weeks. So who knows how this will go. But welcome on in. Kickoff is moments away in this. And what should be a fun way to wrap up the week. Yeah, Aviators fans are showing up for this one. I'm not surprised by it. As it is Ted Ginn Jr. bobblehead night. That's fun. Again, everything with the playoffs already in place. All that this game has in store for it is just some good football, hopefully. Columbus looking to end the season hot, being winners of back-to-back. Louisville looking to enter the playoffs on a 4-game win streak. But we will see. Assuming that the Kings do pull out the win today, it'll mean that next week's playoff game is a rematch for the Kings' last loss on the regular season. It was that 16-3 loss against St. Louis that led to some questioning with this Louisville team, but then they won back-to-back against DC and everything kind of fell into place. Yeah, we'll see Jalen Morton. We'll see this really high-powered Columbus ground game, the ground game that I would expect 1, 2, if not all 3 of them to be entering the NFL, but we'll see. Hello, welcome on in. This should be a good one. Yep. How's everyone doing on this fine Sunday? Yeah, and it was a good game for the gamblers as well. I was kind of surprised that they were able to win considering how many key pieces were not playing for them that day. But hey, it's a nice way to end the season, that's for sure. As we're still at a commercial break as we await the opening kick. Yeah. Yeah. Friday night, I didn't stay up necessarily late, but I had a fun Friday night. Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, spoiling both all the playoffs are already said. There's no spoiling getting in or anything here, but still should be a fun one. I'm still gonna expect Columbus to come out there trying to end the season hot. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, and what the gamblers did, yeah, that was a fun one. Hey, that is when Louisville clinched their spot, yeah. Right. Yeah. I woke up an hour before Orlando and DC kicked off. So as soon as that game ended, I kind of just been on autopilot the past 3 hours. So let's see how this goes. Oh hell yeah. And teams are taking the field. The Aviators will get the ball first in this one. So we'll see what Jalen Morton and that offense has in store for this. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. He's been playing really well this year. There isn't really a single player I would point out to that necessarily have had a completely bad season. Everyone has played well. I mean, it helps that there's so much parity in this league. So yeah. Chris Redmond and Ted Ginn. Yeah, I'm shocked it took this long for this matchup to happen, but that's what scheduling afforded. Yep. Tanner Brown on to send this one down. Again, I would expect him to have an NFL opportunity once the Kings season ends. But for now, he sends this one down as the regular season finale is underway. Going to be returned beginning from the 10, face up past the 20, past the 25, and going to be brought down right around the 27 or so. So the Aviators will start from there. Louisville seemingly has the ball coming out of a pile, but they're going to rule him down by contact before anything. Yeah, I kind of am as well, but not because, not because I hated the outcome, but more just because I slept a long time last night and woke up right before that game started, so that was fun. Nice. All right, so Jalen Morton in shotgun back to his left. Play action looking to throw. First play of the game. Pressure comes instantly. Pass right side is intercepted. And it's a pick six for the Kings. Eric Garor gets things started. And the Kings are on the board first. What a start in this one. Sure. Pressure. This Kings defense has been the best defense since week 5, basically. It has been really impressive how well they've been playing. And that's now, I believe, their 16th turnover since their week 5 game against Dallas. But what a way for this to start. Yeah, the broadcast just said 16th in the last 5+ games. Extra points right down the middle. This defense has been a turnover machine the past, again, month and a half or so of play. Yeah, that was too easy. Morton trying to check it down to Tay Martin. That stood no chance. Yeah, that was too easy. Hmm. Yeah. But I mean, again, that's 3 Kings defenders being in the backfield pretty much instantly. So that's just a tough way for this to start. Yeah, that's weird. But at least the phone is working though. So with that, Tanner Brown on to send this one down. And kickoff is underway. Going to be returned beginning from the 8, space up past the 20, past the 25. Trying to find room down that left side, flipping the field, gets past the 30, and out of bounds around the 35. Columbus will start from there. Uh, yeah. Screen recordings can always be a bit finicky anyway. All right, so Morton under center, back in fullback behind him. Ball on their own 34. Going to hand this off up the middle. Trying to find some space is John Lovett. It's a gain of maybe a yard. Not much else space to work there. Yeah. All right, 2nd and 9. In shotgun, a back to each side. Gonna play action and look to throw. Dump off left side for John Lovett. Can be caught with space. Enough for the first down. It's a gain of roughly 11. There is a penalty marker down. Those we'll see what this is. And it's an eligible player downfield. Gonna be pushing Columbus back 5. All right. Because I think part of it is when screen recording, it's not also compressing the file. Whereas YouTube's downloading the stuff is gonna compress it. That would explain the file size. The first, are they still giving them the first there? Yeah, so give him the first ball on their own 46. Morton gonna keep it himself left side on the read option. That's gonna get past midfield to about the 47. Yeah, the resolution as well helps with it. Yeah, that's definitely part of it. Resolution can be insane with file size and compression ability. So 2nd and 3 after the read option. Morton under center, back behind him. 2 receiving options to each side. Man in motion right to left. As he's going to hand this off up the middle. And that'll be enough for the first. Gain of roughly 3. Yeah, it also, like, the difference in resolution, not only is it, like, what the video is set to, but it's also based off of how you're watching it. Because certain screens, like phone screens or monitors or TVs, can only get up to a certain resolution. So to a point, there's not going to be a massive difference. Oh, they're adding an illegal formation penalty to this. And so 2nd and 8 for Columbus now. It is on my local Fox network. That's where I'm watching it. Nice. Gotta wait a week for that. Morton looking to throw in 2nd and 8. Rolling right, trying to buy some time. Going to take it himself for maybe a yard. Yeah. But I'm excited for it. Should be interesting. I gotta, because he's gonna be in the location he announced for the Miami one. It's not that far from me. And it's a sports bar, so I might go there. Might get there for like a 30 or so minutes, or maybe an hour earlier. Eat, have some drinks until we'll see. I also gotta see what time I get back from my internship and all that. Morton looking to throw in 3rd and 6. Pass left side will be caught, and that'll be enough for the first. A gain of 7. Yeah. Is Aesop Winston on the grab. And they move the chains. So 1st and 10. Morton in shotgun looking to throw. With some time, step into his right. Pass in right, going to be off the mark and incomplete, looking for Tay Martin. 2nd and 10 coming up. So 2nd and 10 coming up. Morton in shotgun, back to his right. 2 receiving options to each side. Man in motion left to right. Gonna keep it himself up the middle on the read option, and that's a gain of about 3. Makes it a little bit more of a manageable 3rd down, but still a 3rd and decently long. There'll be a 3rd and 7 coming up. Just under 11 minutes to play in the first. Third and 7. Morton in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receiving options to the right. Going to look to throw. Dump off right side is dropped. Looking for Looking for Cam McDonald, the tight end. It'll be a 4th and 7 coming up. That's very fair. That the editing process and all that is not the most engaging one, but it's part of the process. All right, out comes Jonah Dalmas for the 58-yard field goal from the right hash to put the Aviators on the board. This season, he has a long of 48. He's had a kicked block this year as well. This kick is up. It's on line. It is beautiful. Right down the middle. Columbus is on the board. That's a beautiful kick from Jonah Dalmas. All right. Yeah. Yeah, it's all... For me, it's kind of all one big process, like gathering assets and the editing, because I like doing it in parts. Like I'll record all of it in one go, and then I'll cut, and then from there I'll figure out like which, and then from there I'll do like, okay, this is gonna be part 1 of the editing, so I'll edit that, find the clips, go to part 2, and so on and so on. Like it might make the process a bit longer, but that's just the rhythm I like to do with it, so that way I'm not searching the internet for 5 hours to find everything all in one go. Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. It's gonna be something. As we're at commercial break after the long field goal, we'll see this Kings offense for the first time tonight. They have a 4-point lead, so they're gonna have a bit of wiggle room to work with here. It should be interesting. Yeah, and also in the recording process, is like when you finish recording, it's gonna be longer than what it would actually be, because you're gonna be cutting up some parts of all that. Like I've had some decently long recording sessions, but I think the longest video I've put out there was maybe no, because I have the ranking every team's logo in history. That was like 40 minutes. But it was also a really simple edit to do, so I'm not like that's the trade-off with it. As we're just coming back from commercial break. $9.51 to play in the first. Kickoff underway. Going to be returned beginning from the 1. Base out past the 15, past the 20, and brought down right around the 25. Oh, is that ball come loose? Columbus is saying they have it. I thought he might have been. Hold on. I thought for sure he was down. That's why I looked away briefly. As it's being ruled, they're saying Columbus ball. Where's control? Oh, that's close. I can't. Yeah, I need the other camera angle again to tell this. There is clear recovery from Columbus, it seems. Here we go. No, yeah, that's a fumble. That's a fumble. It's Columbus's ball. They get it right back off the kick return. Morton in shotgun back to his left. 3 receiving options to the right. Going to look to throw. Ball on the Louisville 25. Pass left side off the mark and incomplete. Looking for Toa. Yeah. I think we had 3 turnovers in the first quarter of Orlando and DC, so a lot. In the USFL championship game back in 2024, like the conference championship game, there was 6 turnovers in the entirety of the third quarter of that game. It was chaos. Gonna hand this off up the middle, and that's gonna gain of about 2 or so for Toa. So a 3rd and 8 coming up. Yeah. All right, 3rd and 8. Morton in shotgun. Back to his right, 3 receiving options to the left. Going to look to throw. With some time, rolling right, passing for the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown Columbus. It's Kiki Chisholm. And they have the lead. We have had soon to be 17 points scored in this game. The Louisville offense has not seen the field yet. That's where we're at with this game. But they capitalize off the fumble. That's a beautiful throw. He got the feet down. He has possession through the ground. That's a great throw and catch. We are close to halfway through the first quarter. And the Louisville offense has not seen the field. Extra point is up, and it is good. All right, so now are we actually going to finally see this Louisville offense? We're at close to 7 minutes into this game, and Chandler Rogers has not taken the field. But that's a beautiful throw from Jalen Morton. So 8:25 to play in the first. We head to a commercial break. More commercial breaks than Louisville Kings offensive plays so far is crazy. Yeah, that was a tough one yesterday. Yeah, 17 points are on the board, and that's what's the I think in the NFL if we've had something like this happen before, where 17 points are scored before one team's offense has seen the field. Yep. And then from there, who knows? As we're at commercial break. All right. Appreciate it. We're back commercial break. All right, just coming back from commercial break. Columbus set to send this one down. Able to capitalize off the fumble on the previous kickoff. Are we finally going to see Chandler Rogers? Or is Louisville just going to say screw it and respond with a kick return touchdown? They've done that before. I think much in the same way how I expect Houston to run it back with Hunter Deckers next year, I expect Columbus to run it back with Jalen Morton. All right, kickoff underway. Going to be returned beginning from the 5. Space out past the 20, 25, past the 30. There's space along the sideline. Past midfield, a hurdle inside the 45 and down to the 43 of Columbus. That's how you respond, Tyler Hudson. A fantastic return. And the Kings will start from there. He fumbled on a previous return. On this one, he's hurdling the kicker. That's a clean hurdle, man. That's beautiful. So actually ball on the Columbus 42. Rogers in shotgun, back to his left. Gonna hand this off up the middle, and there's space for James Robinson. Gonna fight his way to about the 38. Yep, that's cool. All right, 2nd and 6 coming up. Second and 6. Rogers in shotgun, back to his left. Gonna hand this off up the middle, and that's going to be a gain of roughly 3. So the first 3rd down test for the game for the Kings. Oh yeah. Yeah, I figured. 3rd and 4. Rogers in shotgun, back to his right. Gonna hand this off up the middle. And he's stuffed. Only a gain of a yard for Ian Wheeler. This Columbus defense, I mean, they've been hungry on the bench the first 7 minutes of this game. So they were ready as soon as the Louisville offense hit the field. All right, 4th and 3, and out comes the field goal unit. Tanner Brown on to tie this game up. It's a 53-yard kick for Tanner Brown from the left hash. He has the leg. Kick is up and it's blocked. Columbus blocks it. But there is a penalty I think would be against the Aviators as well. There was a bit of an early jump. And yep, they're going to get Columbus with an offside. So 5 yards, automatic first. Kings maintain possession. Tried to time the snap, but just barely did it too soon. I picked Columbus to win back on Thursday. I'm more so just hoping for a good game. And so far it has been that. In shotgun, back to his right. Going to hand this off up the middle. Trying to bounce it out left side. And there's space. Past the 25 and out of bounds around the 21. It's Ian Wheeler on the carry. Gain of 9. 6 minutes to play in the first. All right, Rogers and shotgun back behind him. 3 receiving options to the right. Another handoff up the middle is enough for the first down. They're inside the 20 and down to the 17. Louisville's in the red zone for the first time today on their opening drive offensively. 5:20 to play in the first. So 1st and 10. Rodgers in shotgun, back to his left, 2 receiving options to each side. Play clock winding down to get the snap off in time. They hand this off to the right, and it's stuffed at the line for no gain, maybe to give him a yard of generous. Yeah. Soon. Probably should do it sooner than later because DJ Stroud entering a potential. He's entering the final year of his contract, right? I don't think they picked up his 5th-year option. I mean, obviously the idea is that they're going to extend him, but yeah, that's fair. Those jerseys are expensive. Rodgers gonna keep it himself left side and going to scramble past the 10 to 5, and he is in. Louisville retakes the lead. Chandler Rodgers on the touchdown scramble on their first offensive drive of the game. They still have yet to pass the ball, but they lead by 3, soon to be 4 nonetheless. Is the crowd chanting "Ref, you suck"? I mean, it was that offsides on the blocked field goal that kept this drive alive, so. The extra point is up, and it's right down the middle. It's still just a field goal game, but it's a solid one at that. Yeah. The Kings have not passed the ball yet, so. Their defense is still playing great. I mean, first play of the game, they got a pick 6. That's how. They first play the game, pick 6, they're doing just fine. Oh yeah, ref you suck chants are everywhere. And they're always fun. They're always either fun or funny, depending on how much the refs got it right. Yeah. We're at commercial break. I'm not sure if there probably isn't any like actual specific formula that goes in for the YouTube like top chat thing. But it's funny. We're at commercial break. So we're at commercial break. Yeah. Again, the Kings offense, for them having not passed the ball yet, that was a pretty good looking opening drive for things. So we'll see. As we're just coming back from commercial break after the 7-play touchdown drive. .410 to go in the first. Tanner Brown sends this one down. Going to be returned beginning from the 2. Space out past the 15, past the 20. Going to be past the 25, past the 30, 35, 40, and out of bounds around the 42, 43. So the Aviators will start from there. A nice return. And let's see what Jalen Morton can do. Had a nice pass and touchdown the last time out. Are they going to be able to match it and retake the lead? Yeah, the broadcast is highlighting this Kings defense. It has been a very impressive past 6 weeks or so. 16 takeaways since week 5, only 1 in the first month of play. It has been a night and day difference for this team. Morton and shotgun back to each side. Going to hand this off up the middle, and that's stuffed at the line for no gain. Toa on the carry. Going to be a 2nd and 10 coming up. .340 to play. Morton and shotgun back to each side. Louisville crashing the box. Morton looking to throw. Pass over the middle is low and incomplete. Looking for Toa on the check down. As Louisville was crashing the middle of the offensive line. They forced the errant throw. Now 3rd and 9 coming up. So 3rd and 9. Morton and shotgun back to his right, going to look to throw. They get the snap off in time. Pressure comes quick. Morton's pass over the middle is caught with space, enough for the first, and brought down near the King 40-yard line. I believe that was Kiki Chisholm on the grab. It will be a 1st and 10 Aviators. The Kings are getting pressure on these blitzes, but if the Aviators are managing it well. Jalen Morton's having good pocket presence right now. Again, really besides that first play of the game, he's been in control. As there's plenty of movement up front before the snap here. And they're going to get false start on Columbus as the call. So 2:17 to play in the first. All right, 1st and 15. Morton and shotgun back to his left. Going to look to throw. With some time, pass left side's off the mark and incomplete. Kind of a dangerous throw to begin with. Going to be 2nd and 15 coming up. Yeah, that was... Yeah. In shotgun, back to his right, looking to throw in 2nd and 15. Pass left side is off the mark and incomplete, looking for Gunnar Oaks. I might have been tipped at the line. But nonetheless, it's not been a great one. Not been a great past 2 or 3 plays, really, for Columbus. Now a 3rd and 15. They're past midfield, so they're going to have to go for it here, potentially. I don't know, but I do see it on the live chat section, but on just top chat, I don't see it. So that's probably just YouTube being weird with it. Handoff up the middle for John Lovett. Going to try and find some space. Maybe gains 2 if they're generous with the spot. But it's going to be a long field goal if they try it. And now there is a ton of pushing and shoving going on here. There's helmets off. There's a ton. Yeah, this is going to be a mess of a scrum. This is why this matchup needs to happen more than once a year. Make this a rivalry. Pretty sure I just saw a punch being thrown. There is going to be penalties abundant here. They're going to be on both sides, and both sides are equally getting handsy in this scrum. I wouldn't say a full-on brawl, but it is borderline that. What are these penalties? They're going to be after the play penalties, and they're probably going to offset, so most likely nothing will actually happen, but yeah, you have Tay Martin not letting go of Eric Rohr's helmet, who then responds after his helmet gets ripped off by not letting go of Tay Martin's helmet. And then you have defensive linemen coming in, you have offensive linemen, you have running backs, you got everyone coming in that was on the field on this. Yeah, this is why I was so shocked why it took this long to get this matchup, because this could easily be one of the best rivalries in the UFL. Yeah, there's one punch. So Cameron Datzler of the Kings is gonna be ejected for throwing a punch. It was a clean punch. I'll give him that. That's a former Miami Dolphin right there. I'll give him that. So there's gonna be offsetting after the play penalties, but a big thing is Cameron Datzler, one of the more important pieces of this really good Louisville secondary. His day is going to be done before we even get to the end of the first quarter. Yep. Yep, so all these penalties are going to offset. Cameron Datzler is ejected. And it will be a 4th and about 13. But that's a clean. Again, it's a punch. It's a clean punch from Daxler. Like that's a clean. I mean, you could do a monthly filler episode of Scripted. I'm just not sure exactly to what, like, how much would actually be it would be able to use up with it. All right, so out comes Jonah Dalmas. It's a long field goal try here to tie the game from 60 plus yards out. It's online, and it's good. Jonah Dalmas. And this game is tied from 61. He was signed like 2-3 weeks ago. He was signed like 2 weeks ago. And he's out here hitting 60 plus yard bombs. All right, cool. And that's a clean clear of the uprights. And this game is tied at 24. He can kick. That was a beaut of a ball. Good. I mean, hey, I would not be opposed to. Again, it's a very small sample size he's gonna have, but I mean, Jonah Dalmas probably is gonna get some looks after that kick. And I just had a good feel about them with this game being in Columbus and with how Jalen Morton played last week. And I just had that feeling. That's a beautiful kick. Yeah, I guess. As we're at commercial break after it. That was a beaut from 61 yards. That's a career long for Jonah Dalmas. That was a beautiful kick. As we're at commercial break. I would imagine part of that same idea is a factor into the upcoming season stuff. And 24 seconds to play in the first. This first quarter has had everything so far. It is setting up nicely to wrap up the week in the regular season. Kickoff going to be returned beginning from the 3, spaced out past the 20, past the 25, and brought down right around the 29. Now the game is tied after the 61-yard field goal from Jonah Dalmas. Oh, so Chandler Rogers. Oh, well, yeah, with this game having no meaning for next week, Chandler Rogers on the sideline for this next drive. It's going to be N'Kosi Perry, the former FAU Owl, on the field for this Louisville King drive. Letting the backups get some work in. I'm not opposed to that. Perry in shotgun back to his right, 3 receivers to the left. Gonna hand this off up the middle, and there's space for a gain of roughly 6 up to the 35. It is Jaden Sheardon on the carry. And that should get us to the end of the first quarter. So 15 minutes in the books, a very eventful 15 minutes as we wait to see how the regular season ends. As we head to a commercial break first. Yeah. Yeah, very good silliness. That was something. It was entertaining. That's the bottom line of it. As we're at commercial break. Oh yeah, opening the game with a pick 6 was a sign of things to come for that first quarter. Hopefully it'll continue into the second quarter as well. As we're at commercial break after the first quarter wrapped up. At commercial break. We'll see how the second quarter goes. Still at commercial break. Should be out of it here soon, though. I was attempting to watch college baseball earlier, but I never really was able to because of weather delays with UCF's game. So that was fun. Yeah, that game got delayed so long. It's now on ESPN Plus. So it's supposed to be an ESPN2 game. Just, just my luck. All right, just coming back from commercial break. Chris Redmond on the sideline talking with Cam Datzler before the ejection was. Yeah, he was not happy about that. I can't blame him too much. It's a revelation. Yep. Perry and shotgun back to his left, two receiving options to each side. Gonna hand this off on 2nd and 4, and there's space for Sheridan. Past midfield and out of bounds around the 49, maybe 48 of Columbus. Another solid carry for Jaden Sheridan. And still, the Kings have yet to pass the ball today. Yeah, that's... The ball on the Columbus 49. Perry and shotgun back to his right. Three receiving options to the left. Another handoff for Jaden Sheridan. This time going to lose about 2. Yeah, it's important. Well, yeah, and you also get being hesitant with it. It's been a while since I've restarted my phone, but that's fine. I haven't had any massive issues with it yet. Handoff up the middle, going to be another solid carry of about 3 or so. All right, now they're in obvious passing down. Yeah. Third and 9. There's Tanner Brown warming up on the sideline. He can also hit from 60 plus if need be. So they're about 5 or so yards away from his field goal range. Perry looking to throw in 3rd and 9 with some time. Pass left side, a little bit low, but still catchable. But Zach Davidson can't hang on to it. It'll be a 4th and 9 coming up. He wanted a penalty there. Nothing to throw him. They're past midfield, so they have to go for it, as they're not in field goal range. That's a good decision. Not a bad throw either. A little bit of a hand in the face mask, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Kings challenged that, but no decision yet, too. Perry and shotgun back to his left, 3 receiving options to the right. Get the snap off in time as Perry looks to throw. Pass right side is tipped at the line and incomplete. It's a turnover on downs for the Kings. This Columbus defense playing well. And out comes Jalen Morton. Yeah, good pressure off that left side. And we head to commercial break. We're at commercial break. All right. It's been a solid start to this. They start we're few drives in, but a full quarter in, but been a solid first 18 minutes or so of action. Not gonna complain too much. But at commercial break. Yeah, it's been entertaining so far. I kind of what I expected again. I had this as my game of the week entering the week. So far, it's living up to it. There's been a bit of everything in this game so far. So, I'm not gonna complain too much. As at least Louisville gets ready for next week in the playoffs. Yep, next week Sunday is all the games. Yep. Even the earlier game had some weirdness happen with it. All right, Jalen Morton shotgun back to his right. Two receiving options to each side. Going to look to throw. Pass right side off the mark and incomplete. Looking for Tay Martin, who had a step, but they couldn't connect. Yeah. I mean, like, it wasn't like the best of games in the second half or anything, but like in the first half, there was some funness that happened. Yeah. At least for the UFL, noon games is the standard on Sunday. I don't mind it, but it can be annoying at times. Handoff up the middle for Toa gonna get past midfield to the 49. A 3rd and 7 coming up. Well, the good news is next week for the two playoff games, it is one at 3 o'clock EST and then one at 6 o'clock EST. So it'll be a back-to-back doubleheader for the playoffs. Yeah, that's fair. I don't blame that at all. Looking to throw 3rd and 7, pass over the middle is through the hands of Gunnar Oaks and incomplete. So a 4th and 7 coming up. Yeah. They have to go for it. They pass midfield. Jalen Morton in shotgun, back to his right, 3 receiving options to the left. Ball on the Louisville 49. Morton looking to throw. With some time pass tipped at the line and incomplete. It's a turnover on downs for Columbus now. And the Kings will get the ball back right around midfield. That's nice. As we head to another commercial. We're going to a lot of commercial breaks here. Well, it is Fox, so I'm not too surprised. I saw something the other day where it's like the Dolphins are playing more games on Fox and CBS this year. And that's the first time since like both Fox and CBS started getting media licenses with the NFL. The AFC team has played more games on like the opposing network. Which I'm not surprised a lot of Miami games are on Fox this year. CBS don't care about them. For Miami, it's gonna be Malik Willis. Like again, I'm expecting okay things. I'm not gonna have massive expectations this year. I'm just hoping that we're competitive. That's kind of the main thing. As we're at commercial break. Oh, judgment. Yeah, well, I have a few other. I have some friends that are Steelers fans as well. They're not the happiest about the situation going on. It should still be decently interesting. I'm kind of like cautiously optimistic about the idea of Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers being back together. But like after this season, what's the plan? Is more so like the mindset of like, so like okay, if you're gonna be about 500 again this year, what's your plan for when Rodgers retires after this season? Yeah, it's a situation, that's for sure. As we're just coming back from commercial break. Like yeah, like, I I agree about like Will Howard and maybe even Drew Aller should get some reps this year. But like if you're gonna have Aaron Rodgers for one last ride, he's gonna start every game and play every snap unless he gets hurt or you're out of playoff contention. So Rod it's still N'Kosi Perry, right? Perry and shotgun back to his left. Yeah, gonna hand this off going right, and that's gonna be Ian Wheeler for no gain, basically. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is gonna be the starter as long as he can be over there. But but it's most likely going to be again, and it'll be really funny. The Steelers can have the exact same season as last year, including how it ended. Pass left side gonna be caught and gonna be a gain of about 8 or 9. They're in field goal range though, as Lucky Jackson was on the reception. They're in field goal range now for Tanner Brown. It'll be a third and about 1 or 2 ish. So third and 1. 9.5 to play in the first half. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a glorious disaster. In shotgun, back to his right, gonna hand this off up the middle, and there is a stoppage before the snap, a penalty marker down. Right now they're saying that the Kings called a timeout before the snap. That's their first. Yeah, like there's pieces to that Steelers team, but it's still the Steelers at the end of the day. Like I'm not expecting a lot out of them. But 3rd and 1. I'm not sure about there, but for me it's on just main Fox. Internationally, I'm not sure how they're broadcasting the game. If at all they are. Perry handoff going left, going to be enough for the first. It's a gain of about 3 for Ian Wheeler. Damn it. Okay. This Sharpie's going to be done then. 1st and 10 coming up. I mean, the Steelers are still going to be a 500 team. I'm not going to deny that, but it's still just like, do they really want to be? Perry pass over the middle, going to be incomplete, a little bit high. 2nd and 10 coming up. Second and 10. Yeah, if you're constantly around that 500 mark, at some point you're going to need to break that. And most likely you're going to break it by going down. Perry play action, pass right side, going to be caught with some space. Up past the 30, enough for the first, inside the 25 and down to the 24. Trey McKitty on the grab. Yeah, but if you were actually trying to maximize the TJ Watt era, I feel like there's more that could have been done than what they actually have done over the past few years, especially offensively. There's just, I don't know. Sticking with Kenny Pickett as long as they did, and even drafted him in the first place was a weird decision. And then expecting Aaron Rodgers to come in and be this saving grace was also a weird choice. Quick dump off left side for Lucky Jackson, going to be a gain of 5. Yeah, the Mike Tomlin staying around for as long as he did was something. Kenny Pickett being entrusted as long as he was interested in him even being there in the first place was something. I don't know, just the Steelers are in a weird spot. Perry gonna hand this off up the middle, and that will be a loss of about a yard. Ian Wheeler met in the backfield. Well, no, I think that was a fine decision. That's not really a part I'm really like mulling over. It's more so that just the quarterback position has been a bit weird. And then like the offensive play calling has not been good either for the Steelers for the past few years. Which again goes with Tomlin staying as long as he did. N'Kosi Perry gonna take it himself up the middle, gonna have some space and diving forward for the first down. Gain of roughly 7. There's N'Kosi Perry using his legs finally in this one. Like I fully get that it's not in the Steeler culture to like to purposely be a bad team. But at some point you're gonna need to get high valued picks. Now it's either trading for them or getting them yourself. Perry pass left side, can be caught inside the 10, breaks off one tackler, gonna fight his way inside the 5, and stood up at the 5. Gain of 9 there for Tariq Black. 2nd and 1 coming up. All right. So 2nd and roughly 2, a short 2. Perry looking to throw with some time, a lofter right side, and that's off the mark and incomplete. 3rd and 2 coming up. So 3rd and 2. Nkosi Perry and shotgun back to his left. 3 receiving options to the left as well. More so a 3rd and 1. Hand off up the middle. Going to be enough for the first. James Robinson fights his way to about the 3-yard line or so. Going to be a 1st and goal for the Kings coming up. I am curious about what's all going to happen over this next week in terms of like post June 1st trades and cuts and all that. Perry under center, going to hand this off up the middle on the fullback dive. And the fall forward, is he in? They're saying short at the half-yard line for Ian Wheeler. 2nd and goal coming up. Yeah, that's very close. Need to see what the ball is by the time he's down. That's very close. That might be... When does the ball cross and when does he get down? They're going to review this. That's... I think he might be in. Falling backwards. I think Ian Wheeler might be in. It's very close, though. Mike Pierre taking a look at this. What you got for me, Pierre? They're going to say that Ian Wheeler broke the plane. It's a touchdown carry for Ian Wheeler, and the Louisville Kings retake the lead. He's in by maybe a fraction of an inch. That is an insane... That is an insane effort to break the plane. Took him a second to look this over. But Ian Wheeler is in. It's a really nice drive led by Nkosi Perry. As the Kings, even with their backups, getting the majority of the reps today, we're going to try to enter the playoffs hot. You're going to reset the game clock as well to add some time back to it. And Tanner Brown on for the extra point. Kick is up, and it is right down the middle. All right. This Kings offense still playing really well. Yeah. There's always ways to cope. I made a joke the other night with some friends that all my copium is on back order until August when the Dolphins begin taking the field again. Because I'm gonna need it all around that time. Thank you. Hey, like the Gamblers ended the year hot. I'll give them that. The end of the year hot. They just couldn't quite get it in. Couldn't quite get in. As we're at commercial break. Well, yeah, that that too. Which again, it's gonna be a fun season next year. Or come what, September, August technically. It should be fun. As we're at commercial break. Yeah. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if both are involved with him. What's up? Welcome on in. We're at commercial break as we await the Aviators' next drive. Now that they're down by 7 again. We're just coming back from commercial break. Yeah, Louisville in. It is something. They've been playing really well the past the final few weeks. They're gonna be a fun team in the playoffs. Kickoff underway. Going to be returned beginning from the 5. Space up past the 15, past the 20, past the 25, and out of bounds around the 27. And then with the Kings set up to play St. Louis next week, that's probably going to be my game in the playoffs. Chandler Rogers has been a breath of fresh air for this offense. So 1st and 10. Morton in shotgun back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. Going to look to throw. Dump off right side for the halfback screen is caught by John Lovett. And going to get a yard, maybe 2 off of it. Oh yeah, James. Again, I was surprised when it was announced that James Robinson didn't make the week 1 roster. He has instantly came in and make this ground game 10 times better than what it was. Second and 9. Morton in shotgun back to his left. Going to hand this off up the middle for John Lovett, and there's space to about the 35. Going to make it a 3rd and roughly 3 coming up. It was smarter quarterback play and a better ground game was all the Kings needed. Because then that caused everything else to click. Because the defense started to click when they started getting better field position. The offense now is a 30-point per game offense with Chandler Rogers. Like everything just started getting there for the Kings. They've been playing like how I thought they were going to play from the jump. Morton dump off left side, has some space on 3rd and 2. It's John Lovett eventually being out of bounds. Not before getting past midfield to the Kings 46. That's probably the case as well, where they wanted to give Benny Snell a chance because of the Kentucky ties. But you could have had both on the roster in week 1. Like, you could have had both. I don't see why that wasn't an option for them. Because they really don't need to be carrying 4 tight ends. Morton looking to throw in 1st and 10. Trying to buy some time, sidestep in the left, gonna pass this out of bounds, incomplete. A throwaway. And we're at the 2-minute warning here in Columbus. 1:53 to play in the first half. We'll head to a commercial break with a 2-minute warning. We're at commercial break. Yeah, I guess that's partially true as well. I mean, especially with the Orlando playoff situation about like them not being able to find a stadium to host the game. It is just a weird, confusing league at times, but it's kind of the charm of it. The bid exactly is that there is no bid. As we're at commercial break. At commercial break. Yeah, if only Deckers was there all year. It's been something. Again, that I think Houston now has their Brandon of the future. They just need to find that stadium that can take them consistently, which I think they have now in Shell Stadium. That's why I want to see them back next year. Handoff up the middle for Toa Tawa, going to be a gain of roughly 2. They're ruling it a gain of 3, so a 3rd and 7 coming up. Yeah. About 4 yards away from proper field goal range. Quick pass right side, going to be caught past the 40 space for the 1st and more along the sideline. Can eventually be forced out of bounds, but not before getting deep into Louisville territory. Is Aesop Winston on the reception, and the Aviators are in business. Jalen Morton, just a quick hitter along that right side. And then a good blocks there from Gunnar Oaks and Tay Martin. Yeah, no, totally not. 1:22 to play in the half. 1st and 10 for Columbus. Play clock winding down. Ball on the Louisville 32. They get the snap off in time as Morton looks to throw with some time. Pass deep right side. Going to be caught inside the 5 and brought down at the 1. It's Aesop Winston again on the grab in his 1st and goal Columbus. This offense is finding a new life at just the wrong time. Handoff of the middle and 1st and goal, and Toa Tawa is in. This game's an extra point away from being tied. A beaut overdrive there for Columbus. And Jalen Morton, he might be the quarterback of the future for this team. He's playing really damn well, and the Aviators fan base is loving it. That was a real nice drive there for the Aviators. All right, how is Louisville going to respond to this? The Kings do get ball to begin the second half, so they're in a really good spot here. If they can just get points before the half, as the extra point is up and this game is tied. We're at commercial break. And we're going to head to a commercial break off of it. Not bad. We're nearing halftime. It's been a solid one. It's been solid. Yeah. The arc should be fun. I'm curious what he's gonna have in store for it. Mainly because part of it is also gonna be like how does the Texans and Titans season go? I'm expecting decent things out of the Titans. The Texans, I mean, at this point, expectations for the Texans might be Super Bowl. You go to 3 straight divisional rounds. At some point, the expectations now at this point is going to be them getting over the hump properly. But we're at commercial break in this one. All right, just coming back from commercial break. Let's see what the Kings have in store before half. 2 timeouts, a minute 11 to play. You should be able to do something with this. Kickoff underway, going to be returned beginning from the 8, face up past the 20, 25, and brought down right around the 26. So a minute 5 to play, 2 timeouts. Should be good. Two timeouts, a kicker with a long leg on him. I'm expecting some good things from this. Let's see what N'Kosi Perry can do. First and 10, Perry in shotgun. Back to his left. 3 receivers to the right, going to look to throw. With some time, passing deep left side, going to be overthrown and incomplete. I'm cool with it. Looking for Tariq Black. Second and 10 coming up. So second and 10. Perry in shotgun back to his right. 2 receivers to each side going to look to throw. Dump off right side is caught, but going to be a loss of about 5 or so. Ian Wheeler on the halfback screen, and it goes absolutely nowhere. And we'll see Columbus call a timeout as they try to get the ball back before halftime. Okay. There's the first timeout called by Columbus. Third and 15. Ball on their own 21.5-yard line. Perry and shotgun back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left, going to look to throw. Pressure coming quick, stepping up, rolling right, buying some time. Penalty marker down. Gonna launch this one deep over the middle, and it is caught. It's caught by Isaiah Winstead. How in the world is that a completed pass? Now what's the penalty? It's defensive holding against Columbus. That'll be declined. And the Kings are deep into Aviator territory with that. How is this caught? That is an insane throw, an insane... That's just... Wow. Okay, cool. That should not have been caught. Pretty sure if you run that same play back 9 times, it's incomplete on every single one of them. But sure, that puts Louisville in the field goal range. They're inside the 40. Quick pass right side going to be caught, and that's going to be a loss of about 4 or so for Lucky Jackson. Louisville calls their second timeout. After that play, ball is going to be on roughly the 37 of Columbus. That is, wow. You're in field goal range, though. Yeah, that's an insane catch. That's also an insane, that's over 50 yards in air. Yeah. So 2nd and 13 coming up. 37 seconds to play in the half. Nkosi, Perry, and shotgun. Back to his right. 2 receiving options to each side. Ball on the 36 of Columbus. Looking to throw, stepping up, rolling left, takes it himself. Inside the 30 and slips to the 27. And there's a penalty down. That's going to be a late hit against Columbus. That's a tough penalty there. And there's some more pushing and shoving going on. These teams are not liking each other. And I'm here for it. I want to see this matchup happen 2 times next year. Give it to me. Yeah, so Nkosi Perry slips. He gets touched down about the 28. And then he gets shoved well afterwards. Yeah, because if he wasn't tagged down before that, then I would say that's fine. But he was touched down at the 28. And then, yeah, there's a late shove. So half the distance to the goal, an automatic first down. Gonna put the Kings in a situation where they can take some shots towards the end zone here before the half ends. So 1st and 10, 28 seconds to play in the half. Yeah, Louisville can take some shots towards the end zone now. Ball on the 14-yard line of Columbus. Perry and shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. They have a timeout. They can work the entire field. Pass deep, right side for the end zone. Isaiah Winstead. Oh my, 2 incredible catches on that drive. And the Kings have the lead. That's a great throw from Nkosi Perry. Another great catch for Isaiah Winstead. And the Louisville Kings, even with Chandler Rogers being rested for the playoffs next week, are having a fantastic game offensively. That is a beaut of a drive before the half. Again, I need to see this matchup happen twice next year. In no world should these 2 teams not have a rivalry being built. And that's going to be I think it's going to be an offside against Columbus, as there's more pushing and shoving after that. With the penalty marker down. Yeah, there's a bunch of shouting happening between the sides. I'm tempted to. This has been great. Refs are discussing what the initial penalty is. There's penalties. There's gonna be 2 penalties against Columbus here. There was an extra shove after everything. This is gonna be. Oh, they're gonna have to kick the field goal though, aren't they? Offside against Columbus is 1 penalty. That'll be declined. The other one is the personal foul against Columbus. Half the distance to the goal. And they're gonna kick the extra point from the 7.5-yard line. Okay. So 22 seconds to go in the half. The extra point for Tanner Brown. It's up and it's good. Yeah. If not for this upcoming NFL season, definitely before the UFL season, I'm probably gonna do a small rebrand of everything here. Still gonna be a quarter guard and all that, but it will be nearing 4 years of having this PFP and channel banner, so probably gonna want to change it up a bit. We'll see. All right, again, I'm still thinking about it, so I'll see, but definitely. Yeah, that is it. That Zero Winstead grab is insane. Those type of catches are the difference makers and things. Kickoff underway, going to be returned beginning from the 5. Face up past the 20, past the 25, and going to be down to about the 26. See if Columbus is trying to muster anything here. Yeah. Now, let's see what Columbus wants to try and do here. 17 seconds and 2 timeouts. They're going to try and get points here. Morton looking to throw. From shotgun, dump off right side, caught by John Lovett. Going to be out of bounds after a gain of roughly 10. 11 seconds, 2 timeouts. Going to need about 20 yards. Is doable. Yeah. Morton in shotgun looking to throw in 1st and 10. Pass over the middle is tipped at the line and incomplete. 7 seconds remaining in the half. 2nd and 10. Morton in shotgun back to his right. If they get to the 43, it's potential for a field goal. Morton looking to throw. Need to get this ball out quick. Pass left side is tipped and incomplete. It was there for Tay Martin. But a nice defensive play knocks it loose. It'll be a 3rd and 10 coming up with 2 seconds to play. It was there. He could have gone out of bounds as well inside the 40. Like, it was a perfect situation for Columbus. But a heads up play. And I believe that's Eric Garor getting the hand on it. And there's the kneel down. We're head to halftime. Kings get ball to begin the second half. 1 half of play in what's been a very fun game in Columbus to wrap up the regular season. We're at the half. I will quickly be right back. Right at halftime. Yeah. We're at halftime. With what should be a fun second half waiting in the wings. As we're at halftime. All right. And it's been a great game so far. 49 points in the first half. The broadcast said it is the most in league history. And it's been a fun one. Second quarter wasn't nearly as chaotic and eventful as the first quarter, but still been some solid action. As we're at commercial break. We're at commercial break. Waiting to start the second half. As we're at the half. They're showing clips from that docu series that the league has going on. All right. Yeah, that's true as well. The playoff race being like truly being there from the jump is always nice. I mean, like even this year, like because of because of the 10-week season, the playoff race had all 8 teams until just like last week, 2 weeks ago in week 8. That's a large portion. That's 75% of the season where every team was available for the playoffs. You can't say that about every league. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the MLB I can't get into that same way because of how long the season is. But like the NHL, like it's yeah, it's a long season. It's 82. I think soon to be 84 game season. But even with a league like that, the way that the playoffs work and the seeding works, it does make for an interesting push come the end of the season. It's just you have to wait until the final month and a half of the season for that push to really be into effect. Which is part of the issue. But even then, like it's still fun to watch those games early. Like I'm excited for this upcoming NHL season. With the Panthers being fully healthy again, I think it'll be fun. Yep, we're at halftime. Yeah. Well, that also is because of how like the draft lottery and everything kind of plays a role into that as well in terms of their implications. Like in the NFL, like there's draft implications all the way until the final week for every team. It's just that yeah, some teams not as important and all that. One more halftime segment here before we get to the second half, showing the highlights from that first half of action. We're at commercial break. Yeah, and when we and a slow start could really put you in a pickle. We saw that with the Bengals the past few years. Which is why it's like the NFL wanting to add another game to the season is it's a very risky decision. Because if you add an 18th game and therefore make it most likely a 20-week regular season, it's a very give or take feeling for how those games like and the importance of those games. Yeah, for the most part, everyone ends up with like a decent amount of wins. But like, there's some years where teams end up with like less than 20 wins. Or like what was it? 2 years ago, the 2 years ago the White Sox had like a 31 win season, which is insane. But yeah, for the most part, everyone ends within that like not 60. No, yeah, like that 60 to 90 win mark, maybe 70 to 90. Like yeah, I've never been able to get into baseball because it just I don't know the length of the season, the amount of games has never appealed to me. We're at commercial break. Yeah, and again, I give the MLB credit for them trying to make the game a bit more exciting and in part shorter, but like it's still like, it's one of those sports where I can't get myself into watching it. Now, like playing MLB the Show, that's fine, but like actually sitting down and watching a full game, I can't do. I can have it on in the background, that's fine, but I can't really have proper games on. At least during the regular season. During the playoffs, to a degree, I can. But at commercial break, second half on the way here soon. And this should be an interesting second half of play. Yep. Again, hockey's one of those sports where the fast-paced nature of it and the physicality of it excite me. Alright, Kings get ball to begin the second half. Teams are on the field, lining up. Jonah Dalmas set to send this one down. Kosi Perry been having a pretty solid game in this one. being the pretty much starter in this one after Chandler Rogers had the one opening drive for the Kings offense. That was a touchdown drive. Yeah, and that's part of the reason why, like, we saw this past season that the average viewers for the NHL regular season games was at just over 500K. The UFL is averaging just over 600K for their games. So definitely is factors at play for it. All right, Jonah Dalmas set to send this one down. And the second half kick is underway, going to be returned beginning from the 13, spaced out past the 25, past the 30, and brought down right around the 32. Yeah. Like, yeah, that's a good number. But when you get to a point where the league is 30 plus teams, and you want every team to play each other at least once, you kind of are limited to a higher number of games being played. Perry and shotgun back to his right, gonna hand this off up the middle, and it's gonna have space to about the 42, maybe 43. It's Ian Wheeler on the carry. And the thing with baseball is it's not singular games you play against teams, it's entire series. So it goes from one game against each team to one series against each team, and that's how you get bloated. You get bloated schedule counts. Perry and shotgun back to his left, a 1st and 10 after the gain of 10. Gonna hand this off up the middle once again, and that'll be a loss of roughly 2. I can hear it starting to rain. Let's hope that it doesn't rain too bad where power goes out. Yeah. Yeah. But the NFL scheduling is also, it's also format with the sport of football more so is formatted in a way to where you can't really have massively long seasons. So the NFL has had to manage with it. Play action, Perry is sacked almost instantly. Ron Stone Jr. in the backfield. It'll be a 3rd and long for the Kings. Yeah, there was some miscommunication there between tight end and running back on who to help block on that right side. Yeah. Again, there's a reason the NFL is the top dog in North American sports. Perry looking to throw in 3rd and 19, gonna taking himself along the left side, working his way past the 45 and out of bounds around the 46. Not going to be enough for the first. The Kings can't do anything on their first drive of the half. They will punt this away. It is downpouring outside right now. This should be interesting. The Kings will punt. That's a clean shove out of bounds. All right, punt comes off clean. Going to be returned beginning from the 13. Space out past the 20, past the 25. Going to be brought down at the 29. It's the punter laying the hit. That's going to get the Kings bench fired up. Mac Brown laying the wood on the punt return. And the Aviators will start from the 29. First, we head to a commercial break. Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm not surprised. Because for most of the start of this year, Florida was getting like no rain. So we do need it. It's just unfortunate. It's just weird. Not weird. It's just like, come on, does it have to? As long as it doesn't rain early tomorrow, I don't care. Because I need to drive down to. I need to drive down to like basically Miami for internship shit tomorrow. That's gonna be fun. Because we're at commercial break. Still early on in the second half. We'll see this Aviators offense for the first time this half. We're at commercial break. Oh yeah, it's a nice hit. Not very often you see the punter lay a hit like that, so I'm here for it. Again, it gets that king sideline energized right as the defense about to take the field. As we're at commercial break. Just coming back from commercial break. I think at some point they're going to expand the season count as well as they keep adding more teams. Because like the NHL and the NBA also have divisions. They still have 82 game seasons because the thing is like they wanted to where if your divisional foes you play them 4 times a year, or your conference foes more so you play them 4 times a year, and then your non-conference foes is twice a year, one at each stadium. That's how they get to that 82 mark. But like it's like you really need to have all those games like. Morton gonna hand this off, going right for John Lovett. There's gonna be a loss of roughly 5. Come on, who's supposed to be over on that Kings sideline? Get them to interview Mac Brown after that. True. Second and 15. Morton under center. Gonna toss this going left. Gonna be space past the 30 and down to about the 31 for John Lovett. Third and roughly medium coming up. So 3rd and 8. Morton in shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. They need the 39-yard line. Going to look to throw. Pass right side, caught by a wide open Gunnar Oaks in their space. Pass midfield and brought down near the Louisville 42-yard line. Beautiful fake receiver screen. And Gunnar Oaks is wide open in the seam. That's a great route running. So 1st and 10. Morton under center, gonna play action and look to throw. Pressure comes quick, and Jalen Morton's gonna get this away left side. But that's gonna be intentional grounding. It's Cam Gill on the sack, basically. There's a penalty marker down for what's gonna be intentional grounding. I would be shocked if that's not. Oh, there's 2 penalties, holding against Louisville and intentional grounding. So those will offset replay 1st and 10. That's tough for the Kings. So 1st and 10 after the offset and penalties. Yeah, that's a clear defensive hold, and then there was a clear intentional grounding after. Morton under center, gonna hand this off up the middle, bouncing out left side. Now is Toatawa. Base inside the 40, past the 35, the 30, and finally out of bounds, but not before getting to the 27. Toatawa, he's a tough guy. He's a tough guy to bring down in space. As we're heading to the under 10-minute mark in this third. 1st and 10. Morton under center, back behind him. Handoff going right for John Lovett, and that's going to be a gain of a yard. I picked Columbus to win this back on Thursday for predictions. I still think they could, but the Kings and the way they've been playing has just been impressive in this game. So 2nd and 8. Yeah, no, that was on my end. That was on my end. The rain's coming down pretty heavy right now. 2nd and 13. Morton deep shot left side can be well overthrown and incomplete. 3rd and 13 coming up. Yeah. That was the rain coming down pretty heavy. I had to quickly reconnect to the internet. It's fine. We should be good. 3rd and 13. Morton in shotgun, back to his right. 2 receiving options to each side. Man in motion, right to left. He looks to throw. Pass right side, going to be off the mark and incomplete. Looking for Kiki Chisholm. A 4th and 13 coming up. Was a dangerous throw on that right side. Chisholm saying, hey, throw it back shoulder next time. But again, I think he gets laid out either way. It's not a bad decision, but yeah, no, he was going to take a shot if that ball was on target. So out comes Jonah Dalmas for the 49-yard field goal from the right hash. Kick is up, and it is right down the middle. He's been a pretty reliable kicker in his brief appearances with the Aviators this season. If not getting a chance in the NFL, I think he'll be back with the Aviators next year. And then after next year, he'll probably get a shot if he can have a full season of some pretty consistent play. But we head to a commercial break with a 4-point game on our hands. We're at commercial break. Let's see what the Kings have in store. We're at commercial break. Alright. Just coming back from commercial break. Columbus set to send this one down. We'll see how the Kings respond. 7:23 to play in the third quarter. Kickoff underway, going to be returned beginning from the 13. Has space out past the 40, 45, and brought down right around midfield, maybe to give him the 49. Another great return for this King special teams unit. Let's see how they go from there. So 1st and 10. No, nice. OBS shows sound going through still. Oh, it's Mike DeLeo in the game for the Kings now. Was traded to the Kings in exchange for Jason Bean. He hands this off up the middle, will be a gain of about 3. Alright. Started the season with the Defenders. Then after the first month was traded here to the Kings in exchange for Jason Bean, who got some action today for DC, started today. We'll see what DeLeo can do. In shotgun, back to his right, 3 receiving options to the right as well. 2nd and 7, gonna play action and look to throw. Dump off right side, it's caught by Zach Davidson. Gain of roughly 4, maybe. Going to be a 3rd and roughly 3. I rule in the gain of 5, saying 3rd and 2. Okay. DeLeo and shotgun, back to his right, 3 receivers to the left. Going to look to throw in 3rd and 2. Pressure coming and sacked. Instant rush off that left side. Never stood a chance. And it'll be a 4th and long. Jacoby Widman into the backfield. And they're going to have to go for it as they've passed midfield already on this drive. But that is an instant rush off that left side. So now a 4th and 11. 5.5 to go in the third. Play clock winding down. They're just now breaking the huddle with 2 seconds, and they're going to have to burn a timeout. All right. I still think Columbus. I picked them to win back on Thursday. So I still think it would be Columbus, but it's been a great game so far. Well, yeah, that's what happens when you pass midfield. You're going to have to end up going for it. Yeah, that's just a rough blocking situation there on that left side. So 4th and 11. DeLeo and shotgun, back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. Going to look to throw. Pressure coming. Sidestepping right. The dump off right side. Going to be caught. But not enough for the first. It's a turnover on downs for the Kings. This Columbus defense playing really well in the second half. And we head to commercial break. At commercial break. I don't know for the rest of the game. Because the fourth quarter, everything could change with it. Because the first quarter was eventful. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a 37-31 final. Maybe. Hell yeah. That's good to hear. We're at commercial break. At commercial break. All right, just getting back from commercial break. We'll see this Columbus offense once again. They've been playing pretty well in this one. Again, I'm excited to see going forward what Jalen Morton can do with the Aviators, even go into next season. But as a whole, I've been impressed with his brief appearances today. And with his appearances today and last week. I'm kind of rooting for Columbus, but I'm kind of also just impartial. I don't really have a specific team in the UFL this year. Morton gonna hand this off up the middle. Gonna be Toa for a gain of about 8 or so, roughly the midfield. Maybe it gets to that high. I don't know. I don't really do over-unders like that. I don't know. Sports betting as a whole, I don't get into too much. Like, the most I do is I just look at the point spread to kind of like help me figure out like who's the favorite in that game, kind of like what the storyline I can use is. But for the most part, I'm not like actively betting myself. Morton in shotgun, back to his left, gonna play action and look to throw. Sidestepping left, passing left, gonna be tipped and incomplete through the hands of, I believe that was Gunnar Oaks. So a 3rd and 2 coming up. Yep. It's not a bad throw for Gunnar Oaks. It goes through his hands and then luckily through the hands of a Louisville Kings defender. That's one that's when you want Gunnar Oaks to catch. So 3rd and 2, Morton in shotgun, gonna hand this off up the middle. That's gonna be enough for the first. He gets down to the 45-yard line. It is Toa on the carry. 4 minutes to play in the third. So 1st and 10. Morton under center, back behind him, an extra lineman in the game, acting as a fullback. As they're going to hand this off up the middle, and there's Toa once again for a gain of roughly 5. So 3:20 to play in the third. It's a 2nd and roughly 5 coming up. Gonna hand this off up the middle for Toa once again. And once again, it's a gain of about 5, but there is a penalty this time. Who are they getting with the penalty here? Ew, it's too many men on the field against Louisville. That'll be declined. It's an automatic 1st down. Or declined. It's a 1st down pickup for Toa. 3:07 to play in the third. Columbus has the ball inside Louisville territory. Ball on the King 35-yard line. Morton under center, back behind him. Gonna play action and look to throw. With some time, pass left side. It's high and incomplete. All right. Yeah, finding the time to do it's gonna be question. All right, they're picking up the penalty marker that was down. So 2nd and 10. Morton under center, back behind him. Man in motion, right to left. 3 receiving options on that left side. Gonna hand this off up the middle for John Lovett. Gonna be met behind the line for a loss of roughly a yard. So 3rd and 11 coming up. A 3rd and roughly 11. Clock continues to run. Just about 2 minutes to play in the third. Morton in shotgun looking to throw. With some time, stepping up, rolling left, trying to find a lane. Gonna take it himself and pick up about 3 or 4. Not enough for the first. Eric Garrour, the one that forced him out of bounds. And now it will come Jonah Dalmas once again for the field goal try. This time to make it a 1-point deficit. A 51-yard kick from the left hash. It is up, and he is good. Took a weird curve, but it is through for Jonah Dalmas. He continues to be a really impressive kicker on the year. Even though he was signed just 2 weeks ago, he continues to be kicking the ball really well. And we head to commercial break with just about a minute to play in the third. We head to commercial break. A minute remains in the third. At commercial break. Still plenty of time left in this one. It's a 1-point game towards the end. All right, still at commercial break. I'm still feeling Columbus, in part because now we're at the point where Louisville is running their 3rd-string quarterback out there to get some reps. So I'm still feeling Columbus, but you never know. And it's a game that doesn't have a lot of impact for the playoffs. Everything's already set, but we'll see. All right, kickoff underway with 1:15 to play in the third quarter. Going to be returned beginning from the 9. Base pass to 25 and brought down at the 30. Yeah, there's still plenty of time. So 1st and 10 for the Kings. I am watching this on Fox. That is where I'm watching it. DeLeo and shotgun back to his left. Man in motion right to left as they hand this off up the middle. Gonna be a gain of about 2 for Ian Wheeler. It would. I mean, Columbus is the same team that last week opened the game with a backwards pass that was returned for 6, and then they blocked the extra point. Like, they were down 6-1 early on against Birmingham last week. I wouldn't put it past them. Potentially the final play of the third. DeLeo and shotgun back to his left, going to look to throw. Pump faking now going to take it himself up the middle. And he's going to fight his way down to about the 39. A gain of 7. So a 3rd and 1 coming up. Again, I still think Columbus has this, but it's going to be close. But that should bring us to the end of the third. Yep. End of the third. 15 minutes to play in a 1-point game from Columbus. We'll see how the regular season wraps up here. But first, a commercial break. At commercial break. At commercial break. It's a 3rd and 1 for the Kings when we get back from commercial break from their own 39-yard line. So in theory, they should be able to get this. They've had a pretty solid short yardage. They're a pretty solid short yardage team this year. So I expect them to keep up with this, but you never know. Columbus's defense is also pretty solid. Time will tell. As we're at commercial break. At commercial break. 15 minutes remain. Should be coming out of commercial break here soon. Let's see where this is. All right, just coming back from commercial break. 15 minutes to see how this one ends. Playoffs begin next week on June 7th. It'll be a double header, one at 3 p.m. EST, one at 6 p.m. EST, to decide who will play in the United Bowl. So Mike DeLeo in shotgun back to his right. Two receiving options to each side, 3rd and 1. Play action looking to throw, dump off the right side, caught by Zach Davidson. Gonna fight his way past midfield and eventually force out of bounds right around there. I think both teams very easily could. The way their offenses have been playing, they've been able to move the ball decently well, but it's just the afterward stuff. So 1st and 10 for the Kings. DeLeo in shotgun back to his left. Going to play action and keeping himself now left side on a pseudo RPO. He's going to get a gain of roughly 3 before being slung down. So 2nd and 7 coming up. So 2nd and 7. Play clock winding down. DeLeo in shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the right. Going to look to throw once again. Pass left side's off the mark and incomplete. Looking for Caden Prather. Going to be a 3rd and 7 coming up. Third and 7. DeLeo in shotgun back to his left, looking to throw in 3rd and 7. Has some time, taking a deep shot right side. It's underthrown and incomplete. Caden Prather couldn't hang on the dive-in attempt. And it'll be a 4th and 7 for the Kings, just past midfield. Looking to have to go for it. No, not from here. From the 47-yard line, it will be close. It'll be a 64-yard kick, 65-yard kick. I think for as good as Tanner Brown is, and as good of a leg as he has on him, I think this is too far for him. Play clock winding down. DeLeo in shotgun to get the snap off in time. Pressure comes instantly, rolling right, trying to find someone. Trying to step up now and is stacked. Back near his own 38. The Aviators defense forced a turnover on downs, and they're deep into Louisville territory for a potential to take the lead off of this. Once you pass midfield, you cannot punt. No. Unless it is under 2 minutes of the half, you cannot punt once you pass midfield. That was a rule that was added this season. It's been a pretty interesting one. It has caused for some fun situations. As we're at commercial break after the turnover on downs. At commercial break. At commercial break. All right. It's been an interesting game so far. Columbus, again, ball now on the Louisville 37 almost after the turnover on downs. They're already in the field goal range for Jonah Dalmas, who has hit from 61 tonight. Yeah. I mean, this would also be the instance where a touchdown is likely. Either way, Columbus could take the lead right here. All right, so out comes Jalen Morton. I mean, probably, but I also do understand why they're doing the QB switches. They're locked in as the third seed. They want to get their backup some tape for potential NFL opportunities. Morton rolling left, going to take it himself, and going to get about 9, maybe to give him 10. Either way, a good scramble there for Jalen Morton. Because the Kings firsthand saw what happened with Jordan Teamu, where DC already pretty much had the playoffs clinched, entering their game in week 8. And they kept Jordan Teamu out there for a bit too long, even though he was already kind of banged up. And because of that, he's now out for the season, or DC's in a very tough spot. So I understand only letting Chandler Rogers play a drive and you're going from there. As Louisville's going to challenge something here, probably for offensive holding, I would assume. I mean, yeah, like you'd like to win this game, but you'd also rather have your starters fully healthy for next week when you have to go into one of the toughest places to play in the league in St. Louis. So Louisville's going to win this challenge and will be offensive holding against the Aviators. So they're going to push them back 10, replay first down. Seeing Chris Redmond develop as a head coach throughout this season has been fantastic to watch. The way Chris Redmond has progressed as a head coach is what the league was hoping to get out of AJ McCarron. But now, first and 20 for the Aviators. So, first and 20. Morton under center, back behind him, 3 receiving options to the left. Quick throw, right side, caught by Kiki Chisholm. Gonna get about 4 on the reception. Yeah. So 2nd and 16 now. Morton in shotgun, back to his right, going to look to throw. With some time, pass right side, going to be slightly off the mark and incomplete. Looking for Kiki Chisholm once again. Would have been enough for the first. We're at close to 9 minutes remaining, maybe 8 minutes remaining. But Columbus is going to need a few extra yards here if they're going to want to kick a long field goal. I'm way off with the time. There's 11 minutes remaining. It has felt longer. In shotgun, back to his right. Morton looking to throw. Rolling right, will take it himself. Gonna get brought down right around the 42. It would be a 60-yard field goal. Let's see what the choice will be made here. It's a 60-yard field goal for Jonah Dalmas. He hit from 60, 61 earlier. This from 60 in the right hash. It is up and it is missed wide left. Had the leg on it, but just barely pulled it a bit too far left. Would have put Columbus up by 3. Instead, it remains a 1-point King lead. That's a tough miss. Yeah, it has the leg. That would have been good from probably 62 even, but just didn't have the accuracy to it. Just under 10 minutes to play in the game, we head to a commercial break. It will now be Louisville Kings ball when we get back from commercial break. It'll be Kings ball at midfield. We're at commercial break. $9:58 to play in the game. This should be an interesting finish. Yeah. Well, to be fair, Columbus started that drive from the 37 of Louisville, so they really should have scored there. Again, it had that kick had the leg to it, just the accuracy was slightly off. But we'll see. And we're just coming back from commercial break. Yep. Yeah, all the different coach themed bobbleheads that have been given out this season, they're showing now. We're just coming back from commercial break. Ball on midfield. DeLeo and shotgun back to his right. 2 receiving options to each side. Gonna hand this off up the middle. And gonna fight his way for a gain of roughly 2. So 2nd and 8 coming up. 2nd and 8 coming up. DeLeo in shotgun back to his left, 2 receiving options to each side. Man in short motion on that left side as DeLeo will look to throw. Pass right side is caught with space for the first and more. Pass at 35 and finally brought down near the 30. It's Caden Prather on the reception. And this Kings team is inside field goal range for Tanner Brown. Solid quick slant. Appreciated. I'll be live with all of the playoffs as well. When the NFL season rolls around, I plan to go live with about 5 games a week, depending on the scheduling. So stick around, be greatly appreciated. Gonna hand this off going right for Jaden Sheardon. That's gonna be a loss of roughly 2 based off that spot. It'll look more so like a loss of 3. 8.5 to play in the 8.5 to play in the final regular season game. Okay, now they're saying it is a loss of 3, so cool. 2nd and 13 coming up. Clock continues to roll. And now a timeout will be called by Columbus. Their first of the half. Rough time to have to call a timeout there with 8:09 to play. As we're waiting to see how this one unfolds. They're showing Isaiah Winstead. He's had some great catches this season. Yeah, the first it's focusing more so on the first three games. Really more so the first month of the season was pretty rough for this Kings team. But the past 5, now soon to be 6 weeks, has been special. They have been a great team ever since making that quarterback change. I look at Chandler Rogers still being engaged on the sideline. That's love to see it. 2nd and 13, looking to throw. Pass over the middle is caught. Going to be inside the 30 and down to about the 26. It's Isaiah Winstead on the grab. Going to make it a more manageable 3rd down. As it'll be a 3rd and roughly 6 coming up. So 3rd and 6. Seven and a half to play in the game. Columbus needing a big time stop here on 3rd down. Mike DeLeo in shotgun, looking to throw. Pass right side, it's there. It's the first. Inside the 20 and down to the 17. Tyler Hudson on the grab. Gonna be a 1st and 10 coming up. All right. Solid play on 3rd and 6 to move the chains. I believe Ron Stone is still out there for Columbus. DeLeo in shotgun back to his left. 3 receivers to the left as well. Gonna hand this off up the middle, and there's space for Jaden Sheridan. Untouched and in from 17. And the Kings extend this lead. Now lead by 7. We'll send out the extra point unit to try and take an 8-point lead with just under halfway to play in the final frame. But great blocking up front. And Jaden Sheridan, who was a fantastic running back last year, was really a star back last year. And for this Kings team has been kind of thrown off to the side. Finally getting some meaningful carries in this game. And he is taking full advantage of it. So out comes Tanner Brown for the extra point. It is up and it is good. An 8-point King lead with 6:47 to play. this Kings offense, even with mostly backups in, going against the starters for Columbus, they're just moving the ball efficiently. How gutsy do I get with power rankings on Tuesday? Because with the playoffs being next week, I'm not gonna do all the teams for power rankings next week. It's just gonna be the playoff teams. As there's only 4 teams, I'm just gonna do 4 teams. How do I dare put the Kings on top? I'm very tempted. They've been playing so well the past month and a half. I love the interviewing of Chris Redmond on the sideline right now. When that's a great question about asking about how did they handle St. Louis the second time after the loss back in week 6. Which that again, that should be a fantastic game between St. Louis and Louisville. I'm hoping that that is the second playoff game next week, but I believe will probably be the first based off of scheduling stuff, but we'll see. Kickoff underway. Going to be returned beginning from the 8. Spaced out past the 20, 25, past the 30, and down to the 32. Last week, Jalen Morton led this Columbus offense to a game-tying drive with under 2 minutes to play. Can you do it again with a bit more time now this time around? We'll see. We will see. $6:42 to play in this. Morton under center, back behind him. Gonna hand this off, going left for Toatawa, and there's some good blocking in space. Past the 40 and out of bounds around the 41. Gain of 9. Nice. Just in time for what should be a fun finish. So 2nd and 1. Letting the time roll a bit here. Morton under center, play clock winding down, and yeah, that's a delay of game against the Aviators. 2nd and 6 coming up now with 6:03 to play in the game. That's a tough delay of game to take. All right. 2nd and 6 after the delay of game. Morton under center, back behind him, 2 receiving options to each side. Going to look to throw. With some time, Morton, plenty of time. Rolling right now, finally. Gonna pass this right side. That's caught with plenty of space. Past the 40 and brought down near the 37. It's Tay Martin wide open with the grab. And that puts the Aviators deep into Louisville territory as they look to potentially tie the game on this drive. Beautiful, as it should be. So 1st and 10. Morton under center, gonna hand this off, going left for Toatawa. Good blocking, has space inside the 25 and down to about the 24. Another first down pickup for Columbus. Man, I would have loved to see this team in the playoffs. I'm hoping next year that this Columbus team is like from the jump playing like how they have been the past few weeks. Morton under center, back behind him. Gonna hand this off, going right for Toa once again, and this time he'll be stuffed at the line for no gain. 2nd and 10 coming up. So 2nd and 9 coming up. Morton under center, back behind him, tight end in motion, left to right. Ball on roughly the 24. Get the snap off in time as Morton looks to throw. Pressure comes quick and just going to throw this one away, incomplete. Deep down that right sideline. No one really in the area. It'll be a 3rd and 9 coming up. Not going to be intentional grounding, it seems. Yeah, okay, he's outside the pocket there. It's fine. Nice. Morton in shotgun, back to his right. Going to look to throw in 3rd and 9. With some time, passing deep left side for the end zone. It's slightly overthrown and incomplete. Looking for Tay Martin, who had a slight step. It will be 4th and 9 and a choice to make here for Columbus. It will be just under 3 minutes of play in the game after this play. In theory, they can get the ball back with enough time, with 2 timeouts and a 2-minute warning on their side, if they want to kick the field goal. Morton in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receivers to the left, going to look to throw on 4th and 9. With some time, Morton pass over the middle is off the mark and incomplete. It's a turnover on downs as he was looking for Kiki Chisholm. And now all the Kings need is a 1st down or 2. And they will end the season with a 4-game win streak. And a 6-1 record after their 0-3 start. Chisholm is open as well. If Morton has another half a second to step up and get that ball off, that's a 1st down and more. If he gets another half a second. So DeLeo in shotgun, back to his left. Gonna hand this off, going right for Ian Wheeler. Gonna cut up with space, a 1st down and more. And he is potentially gone. There's a foot race, now breaks off one defender. Did not see that safety until well late, but it doesn't matter. Ian Wheeler inside the Columbus 30. And that very well might do it. Ian Wheeler puts the Kings deep into Columbus territory. That safety was screaming down that left side trying to catch up. Eventually did, but even then, he's already inside the 15. Oh, is Columbus going to challenge this? I mean, you kind of have to, it feels. Columbus is going to challenge for offensive holding after Ian Wheeler broke away what pretty much is the game sealing carry. Is this offensive holding going to win? Grabs the arm a bit. Yeah, that kind of looks like a holding. Wait, Piera, hold on. You're saying that's not enough for a holding? That's sketchy. I mean, he's grabbing his arm and preventing him from getting outside. That looks like a holding. That's a bad look. And that's gonna force a timeout called by Columbus. That's a bad look, though. I mean, if that's not textbook holding, then what is? If you can just grab someone's arm like that, not a great look. That's 2:27 to play in the game. Yeah. It feels so good seeing the Kings playing this well, though, because I knew they had it in them from the jump. DeLeo and shotgun back behind him. 3 receiving options to the left. 14 yards out from the deal breaker. Gonna hand this off up the middle, and there's some space for Jaden Sheridan. Bounces out right side. Gonna fight his way inside the 10. Penalty marker down in the secondary. Jaden Sheridan's brought down right around the 10, maybe the 9. Yes, that is the playoffs for next week. Face mask against Columbus is the call. Is another first down for the Kings. Yeah, so the playoffs next week. It is DC and Orlando. It'll be the 3rd straight meeting between those teams. And it'll be a rematch between the Kings and the Battlehawks, this time in St. Louis. Last time those teams played in week 6, it was in Louisville. This should be a fun matchup. Yeah, that was a sketchy non-holding call. The Kings can let this clock run down to the 2-minute warning. It'll be a 1st and goal from the 5. And yeah, it does not seem like Columbus is going to be calling a timeout here now. There's the 2-minute warning. We head to a commercial break with 2 minutes to play in this one as the playoffs begin next week. We're into a commercial break. I will quickly be right back. All right, at commercial break. 1st and goal for the Kings at the Columbus 5-yard line. At commercial break. Yes, they're 5 yards away from the end zone from a touchdown. First and goal. DeLeo and shotgun back behind him. Gonna hand this off up the middle, and that's gonna be a gain of only about a yard. Does Columbus call a timeout? I kind of doubt it. Nope, does not seem like Columbus is calling their timeout. I mean, in theory, they could, but I doubt it. They're probably just going to run the clock out here. With Columbus not calling the timeout, I would imagine we just see them, if not go for the end zone with some handoffs, but eventually they're probably just going to let the clock run. Leo and shotgun back behind them. Handoff going right for Jaden Sheridan. Going to have the edge. One man to beat. Stretching forward, he is in. There's the icing. Jaden Sheridan, his second touchdown run of the game. Gonna be the cherry on top, the icing on the cake, the deal breaker in this one. The Louisville Kings will go 4 straight weeks with a win to make the playoffs, get that 3rd seed, and have a rematch against the St. Louis Battlehawks with a trip to DC on the line. Technically, Columbus has life, but it's not a lot of it. Tanner Brown on for the extra point. It is up and it is good. They lead by 15 with a minute 14 to play. So a minute 14 to play in this. Man, there's still technically life here for Columbus, but we'll see. I mean, like, Louisville could have ran out the rest of that time if they just did some kneel downs. So it was a weird decision because Columbus was not calling timeouts. So for them to keep running plays was a bit of a weird choice, but here we are. Kickoff underway. Going to be returned beginning from the 10. Base past the 25, past the 30, past the 35, cuts in. Going to be brought down at the 40. A good return. Going to give Columbus some life here. A minute 5 to play and 1 timeout. Going to need to score quick. That's true. Morton in shotgun back to his left. 3 receiving options to the left as well. Going to look to throw. Pass over the middle is caught by Tay Martin. Not going to be enough for the first. Clock will keep rolling. The gain of 8, they have to go quick. Morton in shotgun back to his left. 2 receiving options to each side. Going to look to throw once again with some time, trying to step up. Will take it himself up the middle. Now launching this one deep actually for Tay Martin, but he can't hang on. Would have been a big time play for Columbus if that wasn't a forward pass. But Tay Martin can't hang on through some contact there. And that's probably the true difference maker. Rashad Williams with the hit to force it loose. Now a 3rd and 2. Morton looking to throw. Deep shot, left side. Not there. Overthrown, incomplete for Kiki Chisholm. So a 4th and 2. Game comes down to this. Jalen Morton in shotgun. Play clock winding down. Morton in shotgun back to his left. 3 receiving options to the right. They get the snap off in time, looking to throw. Morton pass over the middle is incomplete. Looking for Aesop Winston, but now there's a penalty. Antonio Greer potentially with the interception there. It's a DPI against the Kings. It'll keep the Aviators alive that much longer. Yeah, you're down by 15. The end zone's the main goal now. You need to try and stay alive as much as you can. There's the second timeout called by the Kings. Yeah. It's not even just that. It's just that if you don't score quick enough, you're not going to have enough time for the second potential touchdown. So 1st and 10. Morton in shotgun, back to his right. 3 receiving options to the left, going to look to throw. With some time, pass left side, caught by Gunnar Oaks. Going to be enough for the first. He stays in bounds. Inside the 20 and out of bounds at the 16. 21 seconds to play now. So 1st and 10. Morton in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receivers to the right, going to look to throw once again. With some time, rolling left, will try to take it himself. Brought down inbounds at the 10, but there's a penalty down. It's offensive holding against the Aviators. Yeah, that's a ludicrous amount of money to bet on a spring football league. Especially a league that has as many weird scoring rules like the UFL has. So 1st and 20. Morton in shotgun, back to his left. 3 receiving options to the right. Going to look to throw. With some time, stepping up, pass right side, going to be incomplete. Looking for Aesop Winston. 5 seconds remain. And time for one more play. Also, this is a high-scoring game. How do you still not have the over? Potentially, most likely the final play. Morton in shotgun, back to his left. Play clock winding down. Morton looking to throw. Pressure coming. He's sacked. And that will do it. The Louisville Kings win 4 straight to end the regular season. They'll be in St. Louis next week. And this should be a fun playoffs. A 15-point win in a game where the backups mostly played. They'll be in St. Louis next week for the first round in the playoffs. Orlando takes on DC, potentially from here in historic Crew Stadium in Columbus. Though it seems the league is still trying to find something to work with in Orlando and in the Florida area. We'll see. But that'll do it for the regular season. It was a fun regular season. 3 more games remain as we eventually get to the real bulk of the offseason with the NFL. Again, once the UFL ends and that championship game happens on that Sunday, we're going to be beginning, or Saturday, going to be beginning the NFL offseason coverage. That, just catching up from what has happened for free agency in the draft and what my thoughts are for some teams. I'll go into more details on whatnot, of what to expect from that once we get closer. But yep, what a regular season. 3 more games remain. It all begins the playoffs next week, so I'll be there for live for both of those games. I appreciate everyone tuning in. I'll see you all next time. Have yourselves a damn good one. Peace.